better. Hello, virgins. Welcome to the Till 5 Tanadian Halloween special. Ooh, spooky, scary, scary, spooky.
Down with nothing. Nothing is going to stop me from my destiny.
Whoop whoop! Welcome to the Till 5 Wrestling Halloween Special. I'm Violent A.
And I am Tan Dust. Stone Cold Tan Dust, to be precise.
You were supposed to be Tanny Too Dope, but you didn't have the cojones for that.
No, I didn't. I respect myself, and I'm not a crack addict, so I didn't want to paint myself up like a clown.
The juggalos and juggalettes that are going to watch this episode.
Well, I don't appreciate the juggalos and juggalettes, but what I do appreciate is that today is a national Tanadian holiday.
That's right. And as a Tanadian citizen, we wanted to do our Halloween special on your holiday.
That's right, because we respect other cultures here at Till 5 Wrestling. And speaking of a national Tanadian holiday, we're going to go right in to the Mount Rushmore of Canadian wrestling.
That's right. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper Tanadian Mount Rushmore without Bret the Hitman Hart. He has to be right up there first.
Absolutely. You know how longtime listeners of Till 5 Wrestling know how I feel about Bret.
Yep. Even if Goldberg tried to make him a shit man, we still appreciate the Hitman around here.
That's right. And next on the Mount Rushmore has to be Chris Jericho.
That's right. The man of 1,004 gimmicks at this point.
That's right.
But he's never going to stop. You got to love it. He'll probably have 1,004 titles by the time we're
done. Next, you got to go.
I've got to say Adam Copeland. I've loved Edge since day one. I remember the day he debuted. I'm always going to be an Adam Copeland fan, so he has to be on that Mount Rushmore.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but do you know who I like even better than Adam Copeland? My father, Christian Cage.
Well, yeah, Christian's had a lot of accomplishments. I get it. I know that you love him. But me personally, I prefer the man that opened up our video tonight, Mr. Eric Young.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know that Eric Young has had a long history in TNA. And as we're doing a TNA Live this month, we wanted to cover the 6 sides of Eric Young.
TNA Live this Friday exclusively on Facebook.
That's right. It'll debut live on Facebook. We'll get it to YouTube as soon as it's over. Who knows when it's over? It's going to start at 8. We may be here till 8 a.m. the next day.
When it's over.
That's right.
You never know. Whoop, whoop.
That's right. Until one of us gets fired. And me personally, I think that was probably my favorite part of Eric Young's career in TNA was the Don't Fire Eric run.
That's right, man. Don't Fire Eric was a lot of fun. Came right out of Team Canada.
Yeah.
First, we got to go into Team Canada. Stop trying to not talk about Canada. As a national Canadian citizen, there was something so cool about Eric Young in Team Canada with Scott D'Amore, Bobby Roode, A1, the snubber, the podcast snubber, A1.
Well, you know,
too big for Till 5
originally, that's who TNA thought was going to be a star.
Yeah, they tried to push him really hard.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I remember getting such a kick out of the old Impact Zone fans that were like, what do we want? A1. When do we want it? Now. And they would hold up bottles of A1 steak sauce.
That's right.
Well, like you just smeared your
lightning
bolt
okay.
there.
I don't give a shit about this face paint because I'm not a caricature. I'm myself. And we'll get into that later. But right now.
You kind of look like a caricature right now.
No, dude. I'm not, though.
Okay.
I'm not, though. I'm not Mark.
Are you doing this on purpose?
Dude, I was sick. I didn't even want to do the show tonight. You said we got to dress up like clowns, and you say I agreed to it, but
Look, I remember it clear as day. It's not my fault if you might have been a little over the top. But if we can get things back on track here, I'll be Juice Box in this case. I'm glad Juice is going to be on live with us because he'll be able to keep you and me under control. But tonight, I've got to be the adult in the house, kid.
This is my holiday. I'm celebrating.
Let's get back to Showtime Eric Young. And I really enjoyed his time with Jeff Jarrett there.
Yeah.
You know, the Bobby Roode tag team days were a lot of fun. Yep. Both of those were great starter points for the man's career. And then he went into the Don't Fire Eric after Team Canada broke up.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun too.
Got to really show he was a really solid comedy character.
Yeah, and that led into Super Eric.
Right.
Because he had the backbone that Don't Fire Eric didn't have.
Which we've actually covered Super Eric.
Yeah.
A little earlier.
Yeah. And that was we both fun. Really enjoyed that era.
It was short, but it was fun.
And that led to the World Elite Eric Young.
Which was interesting. At the time, it was a lot different. Looking back on it, I actually like it more than I did at the time.
I loved it back then.
Did you?
I really did. I was like, this is great. This will get him over. My only complaint, like, I loved the fact that he wore a suit.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was his dad's suit.
Yeah.
Like it was a little too big.
He looked so out of place.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that era. After the World Elite, he went on and he had that fishing show on Discovery and got to being a bigger deal with TNA. They started taking him more seriously, put the world title on him.
Well, let's not forget that he also, right around that time, or actually a little bit before the world title, was in the band as a replacement for.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he was with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Six Pac and
that's right.
Bubba the Love Sponge and
what an awesome stable.
Yeah, man, that was
a lot of fun. They needed somebody that could work.
That didn't work for me, brother, but apparently it worked for Hogan.
Anything worked for Hogan.
Yeah, as long as his buddies got paid.
That's it.
But hey, Eric did the work. Like Samoa Joe famously said when Scott Hall no-showed, guys like Eric Young will be there to take that spot.
That's it.
To run with it. And Eric Young always ran with whatever they gave him.
A lot like we discussed with James Storm. Like when you think TNA, you think Eric Young. Yeah. I mean, that guy did everything.
Yeah. Eric, he did the fishing show and got some more fame behind him. They gave him the world title. And then you had it kind of came to the point of he didn't really have anywhere to go from there in TNA.
Not really. So to NXT he came. He popped up, interrupting Samoa Joe actually, and it was a really big deal when he popped up. People were like, "Holy crap, TNA is coming true." This is not too long after they signed Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens from Ring of Honor, and they got Rollins on the main roster being world champion, and now they're getting Rude, they're getting Samoa Joe, they're getting Eric Young. They tried to get James Storm. And it felt awesome.
I wasn't watching as much wrestling at that time.
That I loved NXT in those days.
I'm sure I would have too if I'd been watching it. I was always an Eric Young fan.
Yeah.
I learned a lot more about Eric as a person when I found out why he left the WWE.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yeah, when I don't want to work for somebody like Vince McMahon.
So he did the Sanity run.
Yeah.
Which was actually really over in NXT. They were tag team champions there. Everything looked good when they got to the main roster. And Vince, much like he did with a lot of those NXT guys at the time, had no clue what to do with it because he'd never seen a single promo or match of anything that happened in NXT. So he tried to run with Sanity, and I literally think it maybe lasted 2 months before that was the end of that.
Yeah. And then they fired him and then brought him back. And then when Vince came back into power, Eric was like, release me.
Well,
I'm not going to work for this guy.
Because when he got back to TNA,
he went right back. He was the guy for a little bit.
He won the world championship on his first night back in TNA.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what, the 2020
Slammiversary? Is that right?
I think so.
I think that's right. Because they did a lot of big surprises that night.
And that's pretty much where we're at now.
Yep. And that was a thank you to Eric Young. Thanks for coming back, bud. We missed you.
But he's earned that spot. Now he's got this Vinyl Obsession show that he does on Access TV. Yep. So I'm glad to see Eric making a long career out of it.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, and wasn't somebody that was just a one-off.
Yeah, he wasn't
a one-and-done person like some of these celebrities that have showed up in professional wrestling. Now, I was actually going to include Shaquille O'Neal because I'd forgotten about the Battle Royal appearance. But I did remember that Karl Malone only had one match.
Yep.
Tag team match, Karl Malone and Diamond Dallas Page.
Yep.
Against Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
Hollywood Hogan.
Hollywood Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I had a t-shirt for that match.
Really?
Yes. That I gave to my mother, and she ended up taking it and making it a gardening shirt. And the last time I saw one of those, it sold for $450
Wow.
on eBay.
Could have been yours.
Yeah, it could have.
Could
But,
have been yours.
you know, I love my mother.
Well, you know, there has been some interesting one-offs in wrestling, and one that I always found interesting was Snooki back around the Jersey Shore times.
I have a fun story for this.
Please.
So I was at that match.
Oh, were you there? Was that WrestleMania 25?
WrestleMania 27.
27. Okay.
Now, first, there is one other thing that I learned recently. The match that was supposed to take place at WrestleMania 27 was The Undertaker and Sting.
Wow.
But Sting opted to stay in TNA.
That's insane.
And that was the Sting world title run when Jeff Hardy was drugged up
That would have
at
been
Victory Road.
actually a decent time to do that match. Both guys
So-
could have still done it.
Sting could have left TNA.
Yeah.
And went to the WWE, had a match with The Undertaker, and instead had that crap with Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Yeah. There has to be an alternate universe out there where everything worked out.
And he didn't lose at WrestleMania to
Yeah.
Triple H.
But instead, you know, WrestleMania 27, they had a little extra room in the budget.
Yep.
And they brought in Snooki.
Who was over in American media at the time.
Yeah. And I might have been sitting beside the one person in the arena who was really excited for this.
Really?
moment. Yes. Because my brother
Oh, God.
is a huge fan of Jersey Shore. We used to watch it together. We were fist pumping like champs. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. All the time. Gym tanning laundry. That was my brother's big thing. He loved it. So when he heard Snooki was going to be there, he was like, hell yeah, Snooki.
That's almost as pathetic as the Yankees' performance in the World Series currently.
I wouldn't know. I try not to watch the New York
For
Yankees.
you, Travis.
But, you know, speaking of sports and one-offs,
Yeah.
let's talk about the fact that Lawrence Taylor probably had the biggest one-off match.
That's true with Bam Bam, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
WrestleMania main event of WrestleMania 11.
Wow. That's crazy to look back on.
One WrestleMania appearance, one main event.
Wow.
I mean, and he won the match. So, yeah, Lawrence Taylor's got the best record out there out of all of them.
Yeah, he does, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Now probably that's like the top.
Yeah, those are the most notable ones, I would say.
And then you go to the bottom of the mountain and you've got Jenna Morosco
yeah, Jenna.
and her Victory Road appearance in 2009
Oh, God.
against Charmel. That is the kind of match that is so bad that you have people that quit watching celebrity matches in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Speaking of celebrity matches coming up in wrestling, who's actually a real wrestler, I'd like to give a big shout out to Big AJ, and I give the match against QT Marshall a big boom.
That's right. And, you know, sometimes if you want to get things to a little bit extra boom, you might want to partake in a little bit of a THC product. And maybe that's the time that you want to head down to the foothills of the Smokies and go see Hot Donna, where they're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And on Sundays, they're open noon to 6 p.m. You can also reach them at greenhempcompany@gmail.com. They'll get you some good deals. I think right now their current deal on 25 milligram gummies is $25 for 25 of them. So you got a great deal there.
What a deal.
Yeah, that's better than anybody else is going to cut you a deal on some 25 milligram gummies that can be a lifesaver for you. Or if you just want to buy 25 of them and sit at home and veg out and watch Kevin Smith movies, go right ahead. You can do that too. But as you guys can see tonight, we're both in the studio with a little bit of face paint.
A little bit of face paint here.
And we wanted to cover some face-painted wrestlers with our face paint, Fagos, and friendship.
Ugh.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Of course, Insane Clown Posse have managed to appear in almost every major professional wrestling company.
Please, Tony Khan, don't do it.
Do it.
Don't
Bring him in
do
at
it,
least
Tony.
one time.
Don't
Bring
do
in
it.
ICP.
Don't do it.
Yes, I want to see
Why
it.
would you want a bunch of crack addict, nasty, filthy, infested with juggalos? What a bunch of gross, disgusting people. I mean, you got juggalos running around this gathering, and the only thing they should be selling is deodorant. I mean, come on, dude. This is disgusting.
Well, I've never been to a gathering of the Juggalos. I wouldn't call myself a Juggalo. I'm more of a Juggalo sympathizer, if you will. I used to be a fan of their music and bought a lot of their CDs.
Used to be. Why don't you have a seat, Aaron? Someone's telling lies here on Deal 5 Wrestling.
I stopped buying their music after the Wraith Hell's Pit album came out. The 6 Jokers card was completed. I lost pretty much all of my interest in them. Sometimes they'll pop up in my playlist. You know, it's really great. I'll be listening to something like No Handshakes Icarus. And then
I prefer Aftermath OD.
Well, I really like Icarus and Dylan's song.
Yeah. Dylan's song. I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. I dig that one.
Yeah, I love the thought process of naming that one.
Just call it Dylan's song.
And then it'll switch over to like Insane Clown Posse's Chop Chop Slide.
That's such a slap in the face and no handshakes. Honestly.
And then it'll go into like Young Gravy White Claw.
Listen, we can do this all day.
This is friendship with me, buddy.
Let's talk about some other face painted wrestlers because I hate. Let me say this right now. This is a call to arms, Tanadians. I hate the Insane Clown Posse, and I hate this Juggalo face paint bullshit, and I hate these characters, and this is bullshit. This is what happens. You paint your face up, and it's pathetic. You're a bunch of cowards. Hide your face from the truth.
You seem a little angry. Is that your tangent of the evening?
Boogeyman wore face paint.
Are you? He did.
Boogeyman
He did. In
also
fact,
wore face
he
paint,
did.
for Halloween.
I'm sorry, he broke me, folks. He pulled it off. It is finally happened. So yes, the Boogeyman wore face paint. Legion of Doom wore face paint.
Powers of Pain had face paint, and they go, ugh.
Yeah, they grunted a lot.
they grunted a
Jeff
lot.
Hardy was cracked out with like 8 different face paints that made it look like he had his eyes open when they were closed. And Sting wore face paint.
Sting wore face paint.
Yeah, Sting was probably the biggest face paint.
Both versions of Sting wore face paint.
It's still 5.
It's still 5.
Give me your number 5 face painted professional wrestler.
Number 5 has to go to me personally.
Yes.
Vampiro.
Okay. A little bit of Dark Carnival love there. I appreciate that.
I as much as I hate the Juggalos, I do enjoy Vampiro.
Look, I get that their fans can be annoying, but you have to appreciate the hustle of.
They're like Swifties on crack.
But they did it themselves. They didn't do it with a record label.
They
backing
did it
them
with
up.
the meth, bro. And the Fago showers and the meth, bro.
They poured Fago. Fago won't even sponsor them.
Fago
They
bullshit.
don't.
I wouldn't either. Why would they
charge
want to
them for
associate
every
themselves
bottle?
with a bunch
With
a bunch of clowns?
I guarantee you that ICP has made Fago more money than anybody else.
I guarantee you that ICP has caused more drug overdoses than any other group in the entire world. I'm including Nirvana.
Well, they just like to do buckshot mouthwash.
Buckshot mouthwash here. But also, the Ultimate Warrior also wore face paint for a while.
He did. So my number, the Till 5 number 4 man with face paint. I'm going to say I really liked Axe's face paint.
Oh, for the Demolition. Yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Axe.
That's a good pick.
I always loved the like red bleeding into the black.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Give me 92, 93 circa Great Muta.
Okay. The WCW World Champion Muta.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I get that.
Particularly, I like the red one with the white. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you wore that in the match with Flair, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Yep.
Maybe number 2 we'll go with the Ultimate Warrior.
Okay,
I
that's
feel
cool
like
face paint.
Warrior
Yeah,
kinda
sure,
has
man.
to.
That's cool face paint.
Yeah, we're both gonna agree on number one.
Number one.
Face painted superstars of all time. If you don't agree with me, your mother's going to disown you.
It's
Sting!
yeah, it's Sting. No other answer. Either
No.
one, actually. I actually think that
You can
if
put
I
him at
had to
one
do
and
two
two.
versions of Sting, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Crow one, particularly TNA era when he was adding some red and stuff into it, changing it up
Okay.
a little, and then Surfer Sting, like the USA Surfer Sting, I thought was super
Yeah,
cool.
Revolution
Yeah.
90.
Yeah.
Great American Bash 90. Yeah. I prefer the Surfer Sting face paint
Mhm.
over the Crow
Yeah,
Sting.
that's awesome.
And I really never was a big fan of Joker Sting face paint.
No, Joker Sting, I didn't
It
like
just
the
didn't work for
sloppy.
me. No.
Yeah, it's ironic for you to say right
Now,
now.
one thing that didn't work was the WWE Studios attempts at horror films.
Like See No Evil?
Yes.
If you haven't seen that, we did an episode with Alex Eldridge on the Eldridge and Beep horror show, formerly redacted.
Radio edit.
Redacted.
So, yeah, we covered See No Evil there. I thought it might be fun since it's our Halloween special and you're our Tanadian representative that we would let you pick some Tanadians. And since Alex Eldridge couldn't be here with us tonight, I wanted to let him pick the horror film that we covered. And he said that Scream was his favorite. So I want you to help me cast this film.
Okay.
We're going to start off with who's the first victim.
The first victim in the rebooted Scream franchise.
This is WWE Scream.
Cruz del Toro.
Cruz, I don't know what.
Legado del Fantasma, Raul
Cool.
Mendoza. Actually, fun fact, we pulled this before on a previous show, and you had the exact same reaction. And I had to say, he's in the LWO.
So it's in the LWO.
LWO.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So the movie starts.
Yeah.
And instead of nighttime,
Right.
it's daytime.
Ooh.
And from inside of a not a like super fancy house, but a nicer home,
Yeah.
you see a gentleman mowing a yard.
And he's got a 3-foot.
No.
Oh.
He's mowing the yard and he's driving around and we hear like salsa music. And we go inside and we see that a wife is practicing salsa dancing. So she hears a noise upstairs and she gets up there and the salsa music is coming from a cell phone. She answers it. Apparently salsa music is her ringtone. I know you were thinking that it was the Lawnmower Man. Uh-huh. Yeah, no.
I wasn't thinking that.
Uh-huh. I bet Theo Hughes would have been.
Probably.
So
He loved the Mexicools.
we see the mother get her throat slit. And then the phone drops and you hear a recording of what's your favorite scary movie. She didn't even get to answer before her throat got slit.
Wow.
And
He
as
was
she
supposed to be the
leaves,
first victim.
or as the killer leaves, we see that her lover was dead in the bed and it's Cruz del Toro. Because nobody's going to know who that is.
All
anyways.
right. Fair enough. And that's
So he was our first victim.
That brings us to
God,
what's
get me a second victim that I actually know who it is.
the next victim of
Yeah.
the Scream. This is kind of sadistic.
I know.
Is Nathan Frazier from NXT.
Okay,
Ben Carter.
I know who Nathan
Yeah,
Frazier
very
is. Cool.
Very
Cool.
good.
So Nathan Frazier is at the skate park because he's one of these flippy kids.
The movie goes from a decent house to a skate park.
Yeah, so we transition.
Tracks.
Like the mother dies, we see Scream come up in blood.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then we go to the skate park and Nathan Frazier is skating around and it's starting to get dark. And he falls and he's like, "Oi, I fell." And then he hears a phone ring.
And it's salsa music.
And it's salsa. So he gets up and he goes over, and there's this phone just sitting on a bench. He answers it. He gets his throat slit, and all he hears is, "What's your favorite scary movie?"
So he doesn't get to say what a scary movie
That's
is.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've killed Nathan Frazier too. So come on, let's get me another victim. We're going till 5 victims here.
Till 5.
Yeah.
We've got
The 5th person gets to
Joe
live.
Hendry.
Oh wow, what is Joe Hendry doing in our WWE bucket? All right.
Well, there
So
was
let
some
me
CNN
just say,
names
let me
mixed
just say one thing about Joe Hendry.
He'll be there.
He's overhyped.
What?
Yes, I feel like he is at the peak of his career right
I
now.
believe in Joe Hendry.
I do not think that the man will make it long term. I just don't see it. If
You're
I
a
can be
non-bu-
notorious
you're
for a
a
moment, I
non-believer.
don't believe in Joe Hendry as a long-term player.
Ugh.
I think maybe the Eurovision song will help him get a little bit further.
Leave it to the
but
juggalo.
I think that in a year and a half, Joe Hendry will be Fandango.
This is disgusting, juggalo boy.
Yeah, well, whoop whoop on that. So Joe Hendry is working at a gas station.
Trampled by juggalos.
Is working at a gas station, and these guys come in face paint wanting to buy some Fago, and he's like, no, because juggalos are a gang, so he won't let them. He
Whoa,
won't let
careful
them
with
buy
that
it
G
there.
word on Facebook
Yeah,
Live.
well, you know what?
Whoa, G word.
Well, it's not Facebook Live, it's Memorex. So get it right, buddy.
What the hell are you talking
It's
about?
recording. Is it live or is it Memorex? It was an old slogan for the company.
All right, Pappy. Come on. Let's keep
All right,
trucking.
kid.
Keep trucking.
God.
Come on. Don't fucking call me kid. Last person that did that got kicked out of my house for life.
Okay. We get in my house for life.
This is our house.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Anyways.
But it's not burned down yet.
Anyways, Joe Hendry is. Give me another name. Give me another.
Oh,
name.
yeah. Joe Hendry is
Who is
making-
Joe Hendry refusing to sell this Fago to?
Alex Hammerstone.
Okay, Alex Hammerstone is a juggalo now. He is painted up and he's arguing with Joe Hendry. Alex Hammerstone storms out. Joe Hendry hears salsa music playing from a cell phone that's in the aisle. He goes, he answers it, and it's, "What's your favorite scary movie?" He's like, "I don't watch scary movies. Don't you believe? I don't believe in that." And then he gets his throat slit.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and then we see that there's a little bit of black and white face paint on his back.
Oh, geez.
So maybe it was Hammerstone. I don't know. So pull the last name that's going to be at the ICP concert that Scream's reboot takes place at in the finale.
The final is Cedric Alexander.
All right. So Cedric Alexander is at the ICP concert.
This is falling off.
Oh, God.
That's okay.
Okay. So Cedric Alexander's there, and Hammerstone shows up, and he's like, "Bro, they wouldn't sell me the Fago." And Cedric is like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm only here for Twisted's performance. I don't care about ICP and the Fago shower bullshit."
Wow, what a traitor, right?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So Hammerstone like looks super pissed, and then Cedric goes walking off, and he hears salsa music. And he stops and he sees a cell phone laying, and he starts to get it. Some girl walks by and grabs it. She goes off. And then later on, you hear a scream because there's a dead body at the concert.
Okay.
Hammerstone
Who's
and
the dead body?
the girl that picked up the phone.
Oh, right.
So
Played by.
irrelevant.
Relevant
It's a
for
female wrestler.
It's relevant for the males.
Okay, it can be a female wrestler.
Pick one.
Cora Jade.
Okay.
Cora Jade answered the phone.
There you go.
Yeah. So she has been killed.
Wow. Probably should have said that word either on Facebook.
She has been offed, unalived. She no longer breathes.
Unalived is.
Her heart has stopped beating.
I don't even think we can say that.
She has kicked the proverbial bucket.
There you go. She kicked the bucket.
That bitch dead. So we've killed her off, and Cedric blames Alex. Alex blames Cedric. They go to fighting. They end up in a bathroom fighting each other, and they hear salsa music playing. And Cedric's throat gets slit. So Cedric is alivened. And since we can't say all those other words now, because we got to be
right to censor.
Yeah,
stuff on
it is
Facebook anymore.
awful anymore.
Right to censor live on
don't
Facebook.
mute us. Don't block us. Hashtag Till5 for life. So you have Cedric's throat slit. So now we all assume that it's Hammerstone.
Right.
Well, Hammerstone turns around and he gets his throat slit. And then you see his phone get pulled out. It's flipped open and it presses call, and you hear the salsa music outside. The person it's calling is Joseph Park. Alex Eldridge is the killer.
Wow.
Because Joseph Park never got him his spot.
Wow.
In the
dude.
WWE.
Alex Eldridge is the Roman, if you will.
Yeah,
of this episode.
He is the new Roman in the Scream franchise.
Wow, he'll love
Nobody
that.
saw it coming.
He'll love that.
Yeah, that will be perfect. I hope that Alex has stuck around through this entire episode to see that segment.
We'll clip it if not.
Yeah, if not, Alex, we're going to send this to you. We hope that we've been mildly entertaining with our Halloween props and all that stuff. Yeah!
Yeah!
We're like the powers of pain in here. You want to tear it?
Oh.
All right. That's our Halloween episode. Hopefully you guys tune in for our Victory Road Live
I like
special.
Travis Bird.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Cool. That was really cool.
Oh, God. We got some here.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I mean, what a great special.
What
right.
is going on?
That's not.
It's a poltergeist in the studio.
Oh, a
What
shitty
has happened?
one. Shitty poltergeist.
Whoa! Hey!
Whoa!
All right, we're gonna get out of
Yeah,
here
let's end the show
before the
now.
ghost of Till 5 Pass comes to get us.
Oh, it's a ghost
for-
of Joe Monroe.
For bad decisions that we've made in podcasts in the past. So, you all have a good Halloween. A happy Halloween. Check us out November 1st for our TNA Live. If you're watching this after the TNA Live, check out both of them.
That's right.
We'll be back in a week with some more entertainment. Thank you. We love you. Goodbye.
Happy Halloweener.